Good morning, Avid. Good morning, Jesse. Welcome in, gentlemen. Glad you're in here. It is November the 26th, 2024. We're going to be in Proverbs 26 to coincide with that date or to sync up with that date. And let's get started, y'all. Glad you guys are in here. Verse 1. As snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting. Hey, good morning, Sunny Sky 7. So honor is not fitting for a fool. Verse 2 has a note. Like a flittering sparrow, like a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight. And that note says, in antiquity, a curse was commonly believed to, in effect, be activated once it was uttered. The Bible teaches that the power of a blessing or a curse depends on the power of the one behind it. Good stuff. Verse 3. A whip for a horse, a bridle for a donkey, and a rod for a fool's back. Verse 4 and 5 have a note. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. And that note says, a fool should be corrected so that the person will not conclude that he or she is right. However, not all of a fool's comments deserve a reply. The wise must use discernment and discretion to know when to respond and when not to. Matthew 16, 1 through 4 is another verse you can look that up in. So we are on verse 6. Joey Bartlett, welcome in. Glad you're in here. Verse 6, he who sends a message to the hand by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet and drinks violence. Verse 7, like the legs of the lame that hang limp is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Verse 8, like one who binds a stone in a sling is he who gives honor to a fool. Verse 8 has a note. It says, one who binds a stone in a sling is doing something counterproductive and potentially dangerous. Similarly, one who expects a fool to accomplish something honorable is hoping for the impossible. Giving a foolish person true responsibility is also likely to cause damage to those around him or her. That was it. On the note, verse 9. Like thorn that goes into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. The great God who formed everything gives the fool his hire and the transgressor his wages. Good morning, Andy. Welcome in. Verse 11, y'all. As a dog, verse 11. Yeah. As a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. And verse 11 has a note. It says, a wise person does not repeat his or her mistakes and poor choices, but a fool does, just as a dog returns to eat its vomit. Just thinking of that's terrible. Verse 12. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Verse 12 has a note. Conceit and pride are the basis for all other sins. If left unharnessed in the heart, a person's pride and self-sufficiency will play right into Satan's hands, bringing his or her downfall. Luke 18:11 and 12 or Revelations 3:17 are verses you can go check that out. We are on verse 13. Boy, my mouth is dry this morning. Let's see, verse 13. The lazy man says, there is a lion in the road, a fierce lion is in the streets. As a door turns its hinges, so does the lazy man on his bed. The lazy man buries his hand in a bowl. It wearies him to bring it back to his mouth. The lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly. He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel, not his own, is like one who takes a dog by the ears. Verse 18 through 28 has a note. So let's read the verses, then we'll come back and look at the note. Verse 18. Hey, RH, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Verse 18. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no talebearer, strife ceases. As charcoal is to burning coals, and wood to a fire, so is the contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are like tasty truffles, and they go down into the innermost body. Fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross. He who hates disguises it with his lips, and lies up deceit with it within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and he who rolls a stone will have it roll back on him. A lying tongue hates those who are crushed by it. A flattering mouth works ruin. So let's take a look at the note. That is verse 18 through 28. It says, careless words and deceitful words, both highlighted in this passage, produce strife and distrust. Even when they do not destroy a relationship, to say I was only joking does not reverse the damage that has been done. Deceit leaves a mark on the deceived one's heart. Flattery involves complimenting someone excessively in order to manipulate, or complimenting someone insincerely. Yeah. Okay. Now, that wraps up the chapter, but there's a picture of this for this chapter. The picture of this, the silver dross of speech, verses 23 through 26. The picture of this is over 23 through 26. So let's read the verses. Fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver dross. He who hates disguises it with his lips and lies up deceit within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. So in the picture this, over those verses, it says, silver dross of speech. This cluster of Proverbs deals with hypocritical speech, focusing on the stark contrast between what is heard and what is actually meant. The New King James Version reverses the order of the 2 lines in the verse. Earthenware covered with silver dross is actually the first thing we come to. Silver dross is in the sediment or scum poured off the liquid silver during the smelting process. Although the dross can cover a clay pot, producing a magnificent looking silver vessel, The beauty is a facade because the pot is not made of silver as it appears to be. The metaphor lays the foundation for the warning of these verses. Do not take what people say at face value. The writer especially cautions against befriending those with fervently flatter with their words in an attempt to hide their true motives. All good stuff. Silver dross. Okay, that wraps up chapter 26. Let's jump over to Ephesians chapter 6, and we'll get to verse 10. Oh, time to do the redneck weather. It's already done. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 through 20. Y'all, let's get our armor on. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Got that done. Yes, Andy, armor up. Good morning, James Hall. Welcome in. We're glad you're here. We are all ready to face our day. Today is Tuesday the 26th. For me, this is my Friday. We are either hitting the road tonight or right after Bible study in the morning. So I'm not real sure. Most likely in the morning, because we ain't packed it all, and we got a full day's work ahead of us. But when Miss Dina sets her mind to something, we might take off early. And she had mentioned that already. So may God bless y'all today. I challenge each and every one of you guys to go be a blessing for someone else. And we will see you again in the morning. I love you guys. So glad you choose to join us. All of you guys, every last one of you. We've got 11 in here right now. So, y'all, we've got our word in us and we've got our armor on. So we are definitely ready to face this day. Be bold in your day for Christ. See y'all.